Yep, okay, that should be good. I know, right? All the people smashing buttons. Hi, guys. Thank you so much for those resubs. Jose, Infantry, Capes and Arrows. I love you guys. Thank you so much for resubbing. I appreciate you. Okay, so for those of you that have not seen me in my home studio before, hi, this is my home studio. This is normally where I do all of my quilting and sewing from and my streaming. You're a simple person. You see a button, you push it. So, before we get started, this is block number 3 of our Retro Gaming Quilt Along. Before we get started and do the actual sewing, I want to remind all of my regular Twitch viewers that we are not going to
Thank you for
do
subscribing
giveaways
to Quiltony.
today.
Grab your needles and head down to the
Thanks,
sweatshop.
kitties.
I mean, factory.
Thank you,
Time
Kitty.
flies.
Thank you, Kitty's Homestead. I super appreciate that resub. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So we're not going to do any giveaways today. We're going to be doing those at the next stream, which is going to be Friday from 1 to 4 o'clock. So if you want to participate in any of the giveaways that we trigger today, be here on Friday. The second thing for my regulars is we're not going to be talking about things that are not related to the quilt along. Things that are not related to the quilt or quilting, sewing. General quilting questions are fine. General sewing questions are fine. But we're basically just going to talk about the quilt along stuff. Everything else, wait until Friday. We can talk about everything else then. And if you are joining me for the quilt along, if you're watching on YouTube, I do want to remind you that this video was not created for YouTube. This video is not created just to show you this block for the quilt along. This video is a live stream. I have people joining me from around the world. I have people taking classes right now in quilt stores around the world, and they're logged into my chat and I'm interacting with them. If you have a problem with me talking and interacting with my live audience that I'm doing right now, please save yourself the trouble. I will be doing this the entire video. This may not be the video in the quilt along for you. So I just want to put that out there. So because some people on YouTube don't understand that this is a live video that I just happen to be putting on YouTube. So I will be giving that disclaimer before every video in case people actually pop in and they see that. So, hi. Yes, we do have a Hestia. We have a Hestia on the stream. I will talk about her on Friday. So, yeah. Without any further ado, I know, Marley. Yes, I know. You guys want to get going? Let's get going. Alright, so right now, I believe we just have... Yes, I don't think Geeky Quilter has woken up yet. So at this point, Nikki is the mod on duty until Geeky Quilter joins us, and then they'll be doing it together. Alright, if you're new to my, my home studio, I actually have a couple of different camera angles that you're going to be seeing. Whenever I'm on the road, I can only do the 2 different camera angles, the overall view and then the view of the iron and the cutting mat. At home, I have a little bit more of a choice. So we have, of course, our standard overall. We have our screen that shows all of the things. So this is my cutting mat, of course my ironing board with my Aluso iron, and then you can see the sewing machine here. This is the block that we're going to be doing today, the Dark Mage, inspired by Final Fantasy. Now I also have a close-up of my cutting mat. So if you want to actually, get a closer look, take, all of those things, that's when I'll pop that up. Hi, Teffy, how are you? So I've got that one. And then we also have, and this is my favorite one, a close-up of my machine with my tea in the way. All right, let's put my tea over there. Fantastic. So we have a close-up of the machine. So when I start talking about the 1/4" foot with guide and things like that, and we actually start sewing strips together, you'll be able to see that up-close look. What am I knocking off? Seriously. Get back over there. Get back over there. So we have all sorts of different camera angles and things that we can do. So, you ready to get going? Hey, Ruby! Fantastic. All right, so let's do this. All right, so block number 3, Dark Mage. Now, whenever I was at the quilt store at Tomorrow's Treasures, I use a smaller version of the Stripology ruler. So today I'm going to be using this one. That sound you hear, of course, are the slots that are inside the actual cutting mat, or cutting ruler. So there's slots in here. So this is what I'm going to be using to cut all of my strips. You may not be going as fast as I am. That is perfectly fine. You can always pause the video, fast forward the video, rewind the video. We are going to be taking a 15-minute break at 3 o'clock. So in about 2 hours, know that we're going to be taking a 15-minute break so you can catch up at that point. And remember, you can always go back and watch the VOD here on Twitch, or it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow if you want to go back and watch anything to catch up or do stuff. So if you have any questions on anything that I'm doing, please feel free to ask. This is a teaching stream. My job is to interact with you and to teach. So feel free to ask questions about sewing, about quilting, and I will do my best to answer them. So hey, Crack and Bean. So let's do some stuff. Let's do some stuff. All right, let's take a look at our fabrics. Let's take a look at the fabrics. So we have our previous 2 blocks sitting here. I have the Bubble Sore and the Hunting Dog. So I'm going to set those aside for right now in case I need them. All right, I'm going to need blue. So here's blue. And there's another cut of the blue. Okay. I'm gonna need black. So here's my black. Alright. I need dark gold. So, and I'm using my master sheet right here. So I actually took swatches. So this, of course, you can find online. You can get it from your local quilt store. You could also, I have a Facebook group. If you do exclamation quilt along, there's a Facebook group we have set up. You can actually print this and download it in the Facebook group as well. So I actually took swatches from every single one of my colors. That way, there's no way I'm going to mess it up. I can figure that out. So we have gold. I think, is that one gold? Yes, that one is gold. So where is my other one? I think it's this one here. Yes. Great. Okay, so there's my gold. I need dark gold. Right. There's that dark gold, and I should have another one over here. Great. Okay, and I think that's it. Just the 4 colors today. Perfect. All right, so let me take all this, set this aside. I'm taking all of my extra fabrics and setting them aside. I'm not going to need these anymore, so I can set that aside now that I know my colors. All right, let's take a look at the directions. It says, if this block is being made as part of the Retro Gaming Revival Quilt, use the following strips from previous blocks and do not cut additional strips of them. So we need 1 black from the Hunting Dog. So here's my Hunting Dog block. And I'm going to go in and find the leftover black piece. There's only the 1 piece, right? Yes. Okay, so I've got that. All right, so I don't need blocks 1 or 2 anymore, so I can set those aside. Thank you, Monkey. I appreciate that. Hey, Minion Mama, how are you today? All right, so as I'm cutting my fabrics, because I took away 1 of the black 2.5-inch strips, that means we're not going to cut 1 of them. So we need 3 2.5-inch strips. That means I'm only going to cut 2. We don't have to cut 3 if it's part of the quilt along because we've pulled the previous strip in order to do that. Okay, so let's set that aside. Where, oh, there's my rotary cutter. Got my rotary cutter. I need blue. So let's flip this over. And I think this is the one that I sent. I've got that. I am having a fantastic day. Thank you very much. Oh, I didn't turn on my iron. While I'm waiting for the iron to warm up, all I'm going to do is iron this out in order to get all of these wrinkles out. We had a discussion last week about washing versus not washing your fabrics. You don't have to wash your fabrics. I don't. None of these fabrics were washed. If you know that your fabrics are not going to run, and these are the Northcott Toscana fabrics, they're not going to run. They're not going to bleed. They're not going to do anything. So they are perfectly fine. So I don't have to pre-wash them. If you decide to pre-wash any of your fabric in a project, you have to wash all of it. I highly suggest if you have any batiks or hand-dyed fabrics, always pre-wash them. There's an amazing fabric line from Cherrywood. And Cherrywood actually has a wash that they use, and they actually sell it, and it's the Propo something. I don't remember what it is. If someone in chat knows, please let me know. It is, they actually sell it, and they highly suggest that you pre-wash your fabrics from them with that before using them. And that's because they're all hand-dyed. They're all hand-dyed stuff. There we go. Alright. I have got that. And back to Matt. Hey, Marin, how are you today? Here we are. Now, for blue, I need 1 2.5 inch strip. Yes, Synthropol. Thanks, Nikki. That's it, Synthropol. I was like, I know it's like a Paul word. All right, so 1 2.5, and then 2 1.5. So 1 2. Now it's nice being home again because I have my lovely, huge working area to work from. I have 2 mats that I have just to make sure I've got it. This green one is a traditional Ulfa mat. I really have it that way I don't have my my actual table showing. I have the entire table covered, and it's a pretty big table. This mat right here is my new favorite thing in the entire world. It is from Martelli. It is amazing. It has like 3 layers, and so I don't think it's ever going to warp and it's ever going to wear out. I think it'll be here forever. So, hard to pronounce, easy to use. Oh, is that what they said? Did you go and look on the Cherrywood site? Did they said hard to pronounce, easy to use? That's funny. That is awesome. Alright, so let's take these and set these aside. So I've got those. Now I need my black. Nice. Thanks for looking that up for me. I appreciate it. Alright, so for black, now it says I need 3 2.5 inch, but remember we pulled 1 from the previous block, so I only need 2 2.5 inch strips. So, 1, oh, you know what I did? I totally lined it up wrong, and so because of that, it didn't have a full cut. Alright, so I need 1 more. And there. And then I need 2 1.5s. Got it. For those of you watching on YouTube, the music you hear in the background is courtesy of Pretzel. Pretzel is an app that streamers use for some easy listening, just nice background music. I unfortunately can't have it running whenever I'm on the road, streaming from my laptop, because it's just too much processor power on my laptop. Alright, here is the black. Now, let's do dark gold. What do I have for... I'm just going to double check. Gold. Okay, that's what I thought. Dark gold is the other one. This is gold. This is dark gold. So for those of you that are watching live on Twitch, you'll notice that links will pop up in the chat that'll actually tell you what the song is that's playing. So then that way, if you would like to take a look at the artist and support them, or just take a look at it, you can, by all means, click on that link and take a look. Alright, so this is dark gold. I need 1 2.5. Let's lay this here. Now, what I'm doing right here is I'm trimming it up. Whenever you lay fabric down, if it's not perfectly straight, not perfectly lined up, you always want to trim off the edge to make it straight. Trimming it up is a definite thing that you really, really, really want to do. Alright, so dark gold is 2.5. And 1.5 for... and 5.5. Fantastic. Okay. I've got that. 1 and 2. Great. I was just making sure I did everything correctly. Oh, let me just put my black up here. And I can set this aside. Okay, now for my gold. And all I'm doing is just giving it a quick iron that you saw at first. You always, always, always want to iron out any wrinkles or folds or anything like that in your fabric. Because if you have wrinkles and folds in your fabric, well, then you're not getting an accurate cut. There we go. And gold. I need 1 of those and 2 of these. There we go. Hi, Ministry. How are you today? There we are. And that's all of our fabric. So, I've got my fabric right here. I'm just going to hide it in my upper right-hand corner out of the way. But right there in case I need it. In case I have to have it. You know what I should do? I should mute this. There we go. Now, the nice thing about being home in my studio, I'm not going to have to worry about chat timing out. And I'm losing chat. I am doing fantastic, Ministry. Thank you for asking. We are doing block 3 of our quilt along. Okay, so from the 1.5 inch strips, cut all in half except for 1 black and 1 blue. Now, if you are using a fat quarter, so if you're using a fat quarter, because if you're not doing this as part of the quilt along, there's instructions for how to do it as a standalone. So if you're using a fat quarter for any of these colors, at this point, when it asks you to cut them in half, don't cut them in half because you've already cut double the number. So in this case, we want 1 black and 1 blue, not to be cut in half. Everything else is cut in half. And how we're going to cut it in half is I'm going to open it up and just cut right there. So I cut it right here, so I now have 2 pieces of fabric. So I'm just going to take these. Oops, I don't want to cut them in 4s. Let me open them all up. There we are. Now, for those of you that are regular watchers on my Twitch channel, I am back home again for a whole month. That means we're going to start resuming our normal schedule. So on this Thursday, I am not streaming because it is 4th of July in the States. Today is July the 1st here in Canada, so today is a holiday. It is Canada Day. There we are. So all those are cut in half. So that means the next stream is going to be Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. And then normal schedule. So Sunday morning, Monday for the quilt along, Thursday night, Friday afternoon. Okay, and then I've got those. Next, we want to cut our 2.5. So let me flip this back over again. So from the blue fabric. Now at this point, you've seen pretty much, whoops, a lot of the close-up. So I'm going to switch the camera to that. So because I'm going to be ironing a lot in addition to cutting, if anybody needs me to re-show you any of the cutting, if you want me to give you a close-up of that mat, let me know, and I will do it. So whenever I cut my 2.5-inch strips, I cheat. I like to cheat. I like to make things easy. So how I cheat is I have my fabric folded in half. So I've got my blue, and I need 9 2.5-inch strips. So I'm actually going to cut 10 and set one aside because I'm going to cut them in 2. So in this case, there we are. So cutting in 2s, we've got, I said 9, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 10. So that is 10 of them. So I'll just take that extra one and I'll set it aside. And then I need 4 1.5. 2, 4. It's funny, my brain naturally just wants to double the numbers again. Because whenever I make my patterns to sell the finished quilts at conventions and shows, I make them 2 at a time. And I've been working on my Happy Painter for the past 2 days. So I just spent the past 2 days cutting pieces for 2 quilts at the same time. So I had double things again. So my brain automatically wants to do that. So if I do that at all today in cutting, please correct me and be like, no, Tony, it's supposed to be this. Don't double it again. Alright, so this is trash. This is extra, so I'm going to set that aside up here. 2 is 4 and 4 is 8. Yes. Yes, it is. But not in this case. Alright, so I'm taking an extra one of these, because remember, we only need 9. And I'm going to set that aside up there. There we are. And there's that one. Alright, so black. I need 12 4.5s. Or 2 can be 8 if you save it for later. Yes, yes. Double the stuff. Yes, exactly. That's the whole point, right? Let's be efficient. Let's be efficient with our cutting. And let's do less work. Who doesn't like to do less work for the same amount of progress? And I'm going to show you another trick that I do. I know I showed you this the past 2 weeks. But I'm going to show you every single stream. It's stacking. So I've got that in this.
This is not a drill. The factory is being raided.
How are you today? So I've got the 2 strips. So I've got my first strip and then my second strip. And I'll talk about that in a quick second after we address the raid really quickly. Hi. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone from Girl November. How are you today? For those of you who just came in on the raid, I'm Tony. I am a professional video game comic book quilter. Normally, you will see me squirreling all over the place, giveaways, and everything at all. But today is week number 3 for our quilt along. So we are actually making a we're making a dark mage block, as you just saw the picture from the previous one. I know, Marley. Okay. All right, come here. Would you like to oversee? Are you very excited because we had a raid? There you go. So we are making a Dark Mage block today. So we are actually sewing and teaching. If you would like to get a block, the Dark Mage block of your own, it's !quilt along. And Girl November, we're gonna do the giveaway for this raid on my next stream, which is Friday. So all of the giveaways for today's stream are gonna be on Friday. So thanks for bringing your friends in. I appreciate you. And guys, please don't forget to go follow Girl November. For those of you on YouTube that are confused about what's going on, raids are something we do here on Twitch, where Girl November, who's a fantastic, amazing knitter, just finished her stream, so she just decided to bring her friends over and introduce them to me. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And thank you, Saucy, for letting me know, for telling me Happy Canada Day, because it is Canada Day today. Okay,
Thank you for subscribing to Quiltony. Grab your needles and head down to the sweatshop.
Aw, Rosalind.
I mean, factory.
Almost 1 year.
Thank you for that resub, Rosalind. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, so remember, if you want to get this block of your own, it looks like that thing over there in the upper left-hand corner, !quilt along. Let's get back to cutting. Let's get back to cutting this stuff. All right, so we've got 2 strips. Right? I have 1 black strip, I have another black strip. We are going to cut in 4s. 4s. We're going to be super efficient. Super efficient. So, let's lay everything out. Oh, and for those of you that came in on the raid and are my normal Twitch viewers, we are going to be doing this every single Monday, with the exception of the first week in August. It'll be a Tuesday, until we get this finished in the middle of September. So it'll be a lot of fun. So we've got that. Now let's line this up. So I am cutting. Oh, you know what? Let's lay this one out too. And let's cut, because we need 12 4.5. So we need, you know what? Never mind, because that's gonna throw me off. And there's no stream Labor Day week. Yes, no stream Labor Day week, that entire week. Because I will be traveling back from Dragon Con. So that will be a week off that you can use to catch up on the quilt along. Alright, so we've got, now I'm cutting in sets of 4. So there's 4, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. So there is my 12 blocks for black, and now we need 8 2.5s. Let's see, 2.5, 5. So that is 8 of those, and I need 10 1.5s. So this should be, nope, not quite 3, but that's okay. So there's 4. And we've got this little piece right here. 6, 8, 10. Look at that. We had just enough of the black fabric left over. It's almost like I planned this math. So all of our black is gone, and we have our black cut. Next, we need our dark gold. Dark gold. It is quilting magic. Quilting magic. More like math magic, right? All right, so let's iron this, and let's get our other pieces cut out. So, any questions so far on any of the materials I'm using? Any of the things that we're cutting? Any of the things that we're doing? So, quilting math is magic? Yes, yes. You know, the biggest thing with my book, because I have a book on how to design your own pixel quilts, the biggest thing with the book is the chapter on math. Like, most people can figure out their design, they can figure out the patterns, they can do all that, but it's the math of how much fabric, how do you cut your strips, how do you get the finished strips, things like that tend to bog some people down. So that was a hard chapter to write in order to try to explain how my math in my head works and explain it to other people. Okay, so this is dark gold. Oh, I only need 3. Okay, so there we go. So I cut 4 because I like to cut in 2s. Hello, Jan Bear. How are you today? Oops. Well, I'm going to pitch this one because I apparently cut too close to the selvage on the one side, but this one's fine. So I need the 3, so I'm going to pitch that and set that aside. Hey, Ginger, how are you today? Ginger, I shot you another email, by the way. Make sure, take a look at it and then shoot me an email back and let me know what you would like. Because it's not a problem at all. Alright, and then I'll take a look at it and let you know after the stream. Alright, so here is our regular gold. 2 squares and 2 rectangles. Oh, replying? Awesome, fantastic. And seriously, it's really not a bother. It was my fault. Alright, so 2.5 and 4. There we go. We have all of our solids cut out. Yes, she is sleeping. She is out like a light. Yes. Oh, I know. I saw the heat wave in Europe. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay. So now, hey guys. Page 1's done. Moving on to page number 2. All right, using the 1.5 inch strips. So the right sides together for each of the following combinations. All right, so let's get all of our things out for the combinations we need. Of course, we need the blue to the black strip. Oh, my nose itches. Of course, we need the blue to the black. Half blue to half dark gold. Okay, there's a dark gold. You know what? Let me show you a close-up of this, of how I'm doing it. So there's half blue to half dark gold. Now, last week and the week before, I actually laid them out to make it easy. You know what? I'm going to keep doing that. There we go. So, half blue to half dark gold. So, the blue is facing up, the dark gold is facing down. So, all I have to do is throw it in the sewing machine. Okay, next, half blue to half gold. So let's take away the rest of this dark gold. Yeah, no, and Europe is pretty darn hot right now. Let's see. Come on. There we go. And then this will be face down. Okay. Half black to half dark gold. So let me get the black to dark gold. And half black to half gold. Black to gold. And then half dark gold to half gold. Dark gold to gold. Alright, so you should have a half gold and a half dark gold left. That is fine. We will use these in future blocks. So I'm going to fold this in half. There we go. And right there. All right, let's do some sewing. Oh, Marley, honey, I have to move you, baby. I have to move you. I know you like to sit in the St. Jude chair and oversee. I know. Oh my gosh. Whew. Hi. Say hi. I know. You're such a cool puppy, aren't you? Nikki, would you do me a favor and shoot Geeky Quilter a message? I think he just slept in by accident. There we go. All right. Because it is what, like 5:30 a.m. in Australia. All right. Now we're gonna sew our strips together. So how we're gonna do this is we're gonna pick them up in sets of 2 because I've already grabbed these strips. I'm gonna line them up. So I've got my dark gold on the bottom and I've got my regular gold on the top. You notice how I did not put my hands anywhere near here. I'm just letting it sew on its own. This right here are your feed dogs. So for those of you that haven't sewn before, the feed dogs are what grabs the fabric and moves it. You should never push on your fabric. You should never pull on your fabric. Let the machine move the fabric through for you. Okay? So we're just gonna let the machine move the fabric for us. You do, however, want to make sure that you line these 2 fabrics up, just like this. So, how I do it, and I'll show you over here, I actually take my finger and I put it in the middle of the 2 fabrics, take the rest of my hand, put it on the bottom, and my thumb on top. And I can actually move this fabric back and forth to make sure it stays lined up as I'm sewing it. And I am sewing what's called a scant 1/4 inch. So a scant quarter, because you imagine whenever you iron your fabric open, that seam itself is going to take some room. So if you sew a perfect 1/4 inch, whenever you iron it open, your piece is actually going to be a little bit smaller than what it should be, which is perfectly fine. It's a lot easier if you sew just shy of a 1/4 inch, and then that include that in your ironing open. Hello. Ooh, excuse me. Hello, Doug. How are you today? All right, so we've got this. There we go. And there's our first one. So I am not going to pull it out of the machine. I am doing what's called chain sewing. So I have something constantly in the machine and sewing. There we go. Now, I use what's called a 1/4 inch foot with guide. So this little piece of metal right here, if this fabric touches it, it's a perfect 1/4 inch. If it's a scant 1/4 inch, I'm making sure that fabric stays just to the left of that piece of metal. So that's what I'm watching, is to make sure that fabric stays straight and it stays there. So you do not need to pin these. If you are really, really uncomfortable with just stripping, just putting 2 pieces of fabric in and sewing the strips together, you can pin it. That is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You just don't need to. So I know at first, whenever I first started doing this, I was uncomfortable with just throwing fabric in there. I'm like, that's not gonna work. Oh my gosh, how do you do that? So I would pin it. I would pin everything. And then the more I did it, the more I learned the techniques and how that, you know what, you really don't have to. You can just throw the fabric in there. Just throw it in there. It's perfectly fine. Okay, so we've got that. Beautiful. And we're just going to keep on going and sew all of these strips. Now, I want to apologize ahead of time. I may move a little faster here than I do at the quilt store for streaming, just because I am in a very small space right here and everything is within reach. So it's easy for me to pop back and forth and do things. So if I move a little too fast, if you think that, no, I need to start slowing down to the same pace I had last week, let me know. Feel free. But remember, you can also re-watch these videos and pick up. I know there are a few people that decided that they just want to hang out during the stream and take notes. And then they will actually sew the blocks later on. Yes, and this, exactly, Nikki. And this table supports full speed. This is a very, very, very inexpensive sewing machine. If you have a folding table and an inexpensive machine, the machine will vibrate, so you can't go at full speed. If you have a really nice high-end sewing machine, you can sew on basically any surface, and it's not going to vibrate or shake. It's the combination of inexpensive machine and inexpensive table surface. And like this, I am actually sewing on an arrow cabinet. It is, I believe this is the Mary Jane. I'm trying to think of what the name of this one is. I think it is, Nikki. I think you're absolutely right. I forgot that, so I had asked Nikki to send Geeky Quilter a message. She just sent me a message saying, okay, message sent. I believe he's getting married in like 4 days. And it's all the last minute wedding prep and stuff too, right? So I think he may have just slept in by accident. But that's okay, because Nikki's perfectly fine handling everything on her own, right? Okay, and last but not least, the full strips of black and blue. Eva, and that is perfectly fine. Even if you're not sewing, if you're not doing the block along with us, you do not have to worry. You can hang out with us. You can chat. I was talking to someone at a party last night because we went to a Canada Day party, and I was telling them, they asked how the Twitch streams were going and how the quilt along was going. So I told them I think only 40% of my regular Twitch viewers actually sew. I think a lot of people just like hanging out and just like being here. And like I said, there's a ton of people that are just hanging out and then they'll make their blocks later. You can rewatch the VODs or you can watch us on YouTube. So I will upload this to YouTube tomorrow morning. And of course, I'll make an announcement on social media when it's live. There we are, and that is our last one. So, we're going to take our scrap fabric and put that in there and trim that. Because we are doing a...
Congratulations, you have just followed Quiltoni. Your taste must be exquisite.
We are doing the chain sewing, so it means I have to have something in the machine at all times, including the scrap. So we put that in there. Mrs. Easter, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Okay, so where is my scissors? My lovely sewing scissors. So now we're going to cut these strips in half. Now, in order to be... Well, you know what? I'm not going to cut this in half because... I'm going to cut this in... I'm not going to cut this in fours. Remember last week, I took this and I cut this in fours. There we go. Because I was working in a small space. I don't have to worry about that today because I have my large cutting table. So I'm just going to cut them in half. All right, and then all of these we're cutting in half as well. How are you, Star Killer? All right, we've got that. Oh, and then I see I've been missing some hosts. Impistry, thanks for the host. Saucy, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Remember when I'm not used to looking at that because I've been gone for a month. So when I'm on the road, I can't see hosts. it doesn't show up in the Stream app. I am fantastic. Thanks for asking, Starkiller. There we go. And, you know, sometimes I have people message me and ask, well, you say to cut them in half, but you don't say which way to cut them in half. I'm like, as you're cutting strips, if you needed to cut that in half again, I would have had you cut a smaller strip. So fold the whole thing over and cut it in half like this. Just like that. But of course, some people don't think the same way that I do. So then I have to actually explain to them, okay, no, this is how you do it. This is how you cut it. Nice. Nice, Eva. Getting that sewing machine dusted off sounds amazing. Alright, so let's do this. We're cutting this in half. Alright, and let's do some ironing. Alright, let's do this. Let's turn that on. I'm waiting for that blinky light to stop flashing so I know that it is ready to go. Any questions, concerns, anything so far? Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take each of these strips. The directions, the way the directions are worded is iron each half of the strips in opposite directions. So if, for example, iron the half of the dark gold towards the dark gold and the other half towards the gold. These new strips should measure 2.5 inches wide. So we've got our strip right here. I'm going to iron this towards the dark gold. So that is the way that my seam is pointing. So you see here how that seam is now pointing. It's pointing up, so it's pointing towards the dark gold. Now, Eva, there's no such thing as a stupid question. As long as it relates to sewing or quilting, ask away. There's only things that you haven't been exposed to yet. So if you don't have an experience, then of course you don't understand what to do with it, right? There we are. Now in this one, I'm ironing towards the gold. So I have, the first strip was towards the dark gold. That one's towards the gold. So now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to lay it on top of each other. In fact, let me show you the close-up here. So I have my gold on top, my dark gold on top, my gold on the bottom. Same thing, dark gold on top, gold on the bottom. So these seams are going in opposite directions. So I'm going to do what's called nesting the seams, where I'm taking my fingers and I'm lining it up. I'm making sure that those seams are nested perfectly. Okay, so let's do that. You know what? Better yet, let me show you on the other camera. Oops, come on. There we go. There we are. That's a much better picture. So you see here how this seam is pointing towards the gold, and this seam is pointing towards the dark gold. So they're opposite directions. So when they're nested, it lines up perfectly, so you see how those seams lay nice and flat. So this is what I mean about nesting the seams. Alright, so let's do some cutting. So we've got this nested perfectly up, just like that. And now I am taking my ruler and I'm lining up one of the lines along the seams. And here, let me stand like this. Oh, I hate the glare from the lights. So there is a seam right here that I'm taking one of those lines and I'm lining it up. So then now we're cutting one set, because remember I like to cheat and cut them in sets of 2. One set of 2.5 and one set of 1.5. And that's it. We'll take that. Oh, let me put that over here. This can go in our pile of leftover fabrics up there. That is trash. And then I'm going to open these up. So I have a pile here of going towards the gold and a pile going towards the dark gold. And I'll separate them out and then set it aside. Yes, the only stupid question is one that hasn't been asked. I like that. Yep, you guys are absolutely right. All right, let's go back to, I'm going to keep it on this camera angle. Oh, my scissors dropped. I'm going to keep it on that camera angle. If you need me to switch to the mat, again, for any reason, if you want to see a close-up of anything, let me know and I will switch it back. But now I'm just going to go through each one of those and do what I just showed you. So that one is towards the black. This one is towards the gold. There we are. All right, black and gold. Let's see. Nope, okay. Making sure. I thought I messed up, but I didn't. Okay, that's black and gold. The ringing. The cat is playing with her water dish. For those of you that want to know about Hestia's health and what's been going on lately, I'll talk about that on Friday. All right, so black and gold. There we go. 2 sets of 2.5. 1, 2, and 2 sets of 1.5. 1, 2. Fantastic. Let's set that aside. There we go. Next. I think this is going to be black dark gold. Yes. Yeah, I normally have a dog cam endemic, but because this is a World Wide Quilt along, so this is more of a structured stream that's also going to go on YouTube whenever I'm finished with it. First thing tomorrow morning. I thought that the dog cam would have been a little bit of a distraction and would have squirreled me and had me slow down, and we don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, so you can get that on Friday. Friday I'll have the dog cam turned back on. Alright, black and dark gold. Okay, black. I need 1 set of 2.5. And 2 1.5. 1, 2. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't squirrel. I don't know what you're talking about. There we go. There's that one. Now, after we finish cutting all these pieces out, the next step is going to be laying them out. Okay, so blue and gold. I need 1 set of 2.5. Okay. There we go. more color combos to go.
Thank you for subscribing to Quiltoni. Grab your needles and head down to the sweatshop. I mean, factory.
Thank you, Sapphire. Thank you very much for that resub for 15 months. I super appreciate you. Thank you very much. There we go. And Sapphire, thanks for the host. How are you today? Yay! I know, right? There we are. Black and dark gold. Black. No, blue. Blue, dark gold. Blue, there we go. One set of rectangles. Okay. Thank you so much for all those bits. Thank you very, very much, Sapphire. I super appreciate you. Wait, user notice reward? It's July 1st. Are they still giving the Pride emotes? I thought that ended. Thank you very much. I know that they said that they extended to the 5th. Nice. I saw that the Pride emotes are here to stay, that they weren't going to take them away. Well, I am streaming on the 5th from 1 to 4. Oh, that's what I should do. Nikki, I should have you do a poll. Remind me at 3 o'clock when we take our break. I'm going to look at what pieced quilts I need to make for Gen Con, and have you put a poll up to see what quilt. So in other words, what quilt do you want me to work on Friday and Sunday on the stream? So if you have the pattern, you can sew along with me. Yeah, the Pride emotes are permanent now. That's awesome. Yeah, so Impistry, yeah, so they announced that they're going to be permanent. So yeah, they still have them up. So I was hoping that they would, because there's some amazing emotes. I don't think I have all of them. I'm going to have to spend some time on Twitch this week and try to get them all. Alright, black and blue. I need 5 sets of 2.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see how fast it is cutting with these Stripology rulers? They're freaking amazing. And then 5 sets of rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't think I have enough left over. Oh, Impistry, thank you so much for those
Yay
bits.
emotes.
Thank you so much. I am not giving, just so you guys know, I'm not treating the dogs today because I don't have the dog cam on. But I'll make sure I give them lots of treats after the stream. So thank you very, very much for those emotes. And for the bits. For the tip. I super appreciate it. Hey, Roll Check, how are you? There we are. Let's separate these out. So you should have just enough to cut what you need. There we are. And with that, all of our pieces are cut. Our pieces are all cut. They did, Star Killer. They did make them permanent. They had an announcement. Yes, I agree. Good equipment always makes that job easier. And those Stripology rulers are super nice. They are not sponsoring me. They did not give them to me for free. I purchased them myself. Alright, so let's take a look at laying everything out. So we're on the bottom of page number 2. Now, what I like to do... Let me get my... There we go. I like to get a little strip of paper. So I will set this here just to show you what I'm doing. So I actually do it line by line by line in order to do that. Holy crap, kitties! Thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much for all those bits, Kitties. Thank you for the tip. I appreciate you. Kitty's Homestead, you're freaking amazing. Look at all that. So, you guys have triggered one, almost two giveaways because of the bits. Because we're doing the quilt along, don't forget we're going to be doing those giveaways on Friday. So, thank you so much. Okay, so we've got, so I'm going to be doing that. So I'm going to start at the top at row 1 and work down. Okay, so let me lay all this out over here. Do this. And this. I find it's a lot easier if you just lay all of your pieces out and then pull over. Fry-yay. I know, right? It is going to be fry-yay. That. There we are. There we go. Okay, all my pieces are laid out, ready to go. Oh, that's awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to see which cheer emotes I have whenever, after the stream. Let me have some tea. Thank you very much, Sapphire. Nicole, my business partner Nicole, does all the designs. And this is one of my favorites. I really, really like her scrunched down, because we do have the Dark Mage in lap size form. This is the scrunched down shorter version. Aw, thanks, Capes. I appreciate you. Alright, let's start laying this out. Oh, I don't need this. I can put that away. Alright, we've got... two. Great. So, what I'm going to do when I lay them out, I'm going to group them up in groups of 2. Because I'm going to pin and sew together this group of 2. So as I'm laying it out, I can actually lay more pieces out. And it's a lot easier and more efficient for me whenever I go to actually pin it and sew it. Next is this one. And then this is the regular gold, right? Yes. Okay, so it is 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. And then there's that one. And that one. Okay. Next is there. There. That's down towards the gold. Yep. Okay. Sorry, my printer's running out of ink. So I'm having problems seeing. You know what? I'm going to bring it up on my iPad. Because I'm having problems distinguishing between the regular gold and the dark gold. And it's my printer. It is totally my printer. So I'm going to bring the pattern up onto the iPad, block 3, and the PDF. There we go. Oh, so much better. So much better. Okay, so I've got, that is towards the gold. So this needs to go towards the black. And then that piece that piece. There. Dark gold. There. Okay, that's towards the gold. So when you go down towards the dark gold. And then up towards the black. And then black. Okay, next line, row 3. There's that. Okay, that's going towards the black. So we need to go towards the dark gold.
Hold on to your batting, folks. This is not a drill. The
Noel!
factory is being raided.
Hi, Noel. How are you today? Towards the gold. I don't want to lose my train of thought, so I'm going to finish laying out this row. And there. Guys, please give some love and hype in the chat for Noel. If you do not know who Noel M. Brooks is, she is an amazing, fantastic 2D artist who specializes in wildlife. She is an amazing, awesome, positive, fantastic person. One of my favorite people in the world. She also shared a booth with me last year at TwitchCon. So please go give her a follow. You will not be disappointed. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, this is another raid. This is another one of those things I talked to you about before. Okay, so I've got that together. Let's do that one. Hi, guys. Hi, Noel. How are you today? Oh, you streamed 18 hours. I was wondering, because Noelle's on the West Coast. She's in California. So I was like, wait, isn't this like really early for her to be streaming? Thank you so much.
Congratulations, you have just followed Quilt Tony. Your taste must be exquisite.
Karaki Queen, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you for bringing in your friends for your birthday stream. I appreciate you. For those of you popping in, hi, I'm Tony. I am a professional video game comic book quilter. I do this for a living. Mondays from now until through the end of September are a little special around here. We are doing an official quilt along. So we actually have people that have joined us that are making this block along with us, not only at home, but in quilt stores around the world. I am also going to be uploading this video on YouTube tomorrow, unedited, so they get all of the craziness of the live streams. And yeah, so it's fantastic. If you want more information, please feel free to !quilt along. Oh, never mind. It just popped up on the timer. So, oh, she's in Texas? Why did I think you were in California? I know you normally stream like late at night, but for some reason I thought you were in California. Alright, well never mind, you're in Texas. So it is, yes it is. So thank you. Welcome, guys. So today, like I said, it's a structured stream. We are doing a quilt along. We'll be taking a break about 3 o'clock, and we are laying all of our pieces out right now. If you want to take a look at the pattern, if you scroll up, you can click on the pattern right there for this block. This lovely little guy right here. We also have a Facebook group. You can join our Facebook group. Please, 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 if you're making these, join our group. I want to see your finished blocks. I want to see these. They're amazing and they're awesome. So, awesome. Fantastic. I know, right? All right, so back to this. So back to row 4. So, that is, yes. Row number 4 is there. So what I'm doing is laying all the pieces out for this block. And we will finish this in one stream. So every single Monday, we will be doing this, and we will finish our blocks every single stream in one stream. This is going towards the black. Nope. Let me switch that. Because I don't want to re-iron my pieces if I don't have to. So that's down towards the blue, so up towards the gold. And this is the regular gold, because these are his eyes. And then we've got this. So this is a teaching stream. This is an educational stream. So if you have any questions, concerns about quilting, about sewing, about what I'm doing here, please feel free to ask. We're going to hold off on the normal questions until my next stream on Friday. So questions about business, about conventions, about my cat, things like that we'll talk about on Friday. So because this is an official quilt along and we have stores joining us with us right now, we're going to limit questions to just quilting, sewing, general things like that. So, but feel free, hang out, chill for a while. Even if you don't sew, you are more than welcome. I have so much to talk to you guys about on Friday, by the way. Alright, so we've got there, and here, okay, and then gold. Got that, and then there, and then there. So, no, aw, yes, get some sleep. Someone, not Noelle, because Noelle just did a really long birthday stream. Can one of Noelle's people tell me what she was doing? Were you guys playing games for her birthday? Was she drawing? Noelle also does a lot of stuff with the World Wildlife Foundation, and it's freaking amazing. Fox in a quilt. Lots of art. Nice. That is awesome. Lots and lots of art. Why do I believe this? Why do I believe this? Alright, we've got that. And then here, so this is going to go black towards the black. Oh, I forgot to mention when I was talking before, whenever I talk about going towards, when you're laying your pieces out, you always want to make your seams opposite. Because remember we talked earlier about nesting those seams? So whenever you're laying pieces out, you want to make sure your seams are in opposite directions. So then that way you get a perfect point. So, oh, she was doing 10 out of 10 art? Nice. That is fantastic. Alright, towards the black. So this is going to go towards the blue. So in this case, my seam is pointing this way towards the black. So the next one, I need to have opposite going down towards the blue. And then that way, when I sew them, those seams are going to nest. They're going to do this. They're going to nest perfectly, and you're going to get a nice point. A nice point. I agree, Kabuki. Noelle's art is amazing. So hopefully everyone in here went and followed her. Or you had already followed her before. Because I know I rated her once or twice after TwitchCon last year. I think I did once before and once after. Alright, we've got that. And here. Fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. That did seem like a lot of pieces, so I just wanted to make sure that they were all together. Yes, I will. So, Twin Deer, first I have to get a booth. So first I have to be approved for TwitchCon, but yes, if I get a booth, then I will be live streaming from TwitchCon again. Hey, Jory, how are you today? And you know what? Getting started a little late is perfectly fine. Thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. Remember, if you don't have, if you don't have enough time, if you miss something, anything else, feel free, pause the stream. You can start watching from the beginning if you don't care about the live interactions and fast forward through the raid stuff. But then if you have any questions, concerns, you can pop live and then ask. So, or you could just wait and watch the rest tomorrow on YouTube or go back and watch the VOD. So completely up to you. So yes, I do try to live stream when I can. Okay, so we've got that. This is row number 6. My nose is itchy today from allergies. And here, there, and blue. Now remember, if you live in the Maryland area, I will be back at Tomorrow's Treasures for the month of August, and they are signing people up to do the classes with me live while I'm live streaming. So if you're in the Maryland area, feel free to contact Tomorrow's Treasures in Crofton, Maryland, and take a class with me. It's absolutely free as long as you buy the fabric through them. Okay, so we've got that. And there. Yeah, allergies stink. I hate allergies. And black and blue. And then black. Alright, that is row 6. Row 7. Oh, I didn't give myself enough space. I gotta move all this up. I hate it when I do that. That's one of the reasons why I normally start doing it from the bottom. Instead of the top. There we go. Okay. 7. Alright, this is going... Oh, we have our first horizontal. So for the horizontal, I'm going to skip ahead and look to see which way the arrow goes. It goes to the right. Okay, so I want to point this to the right. Got it. Okay, and then, oh, here's my horizontal. Okay, there's my horizontal, and this is going to the right, so blue towards the black. There we go. And then blue. Now, I don't want to put this with anything else. This one combines with this one, but I have to sew this horizontal together first. Okay, and then that, and that. Hey, Shadow Fairy, how are you today? All right, number 8. All right, so this one's going to go to the left, so this has got to go towards the black. And blue. This is black, and then blue on top. And then blue, and then towards the black, and then blue, and then there. All right, last one, row number 9. There's that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and I have them all in the same direction. So I'm going to have to re-iron 2 of them. So to re-iron them, all I'm going to do is basically re-iron. So let me get my iron heated up again. So if you have to do this, if your seams are faced in the opposite directions, so in this case they're going towards the blue and I need 2 of them to go towards the black, what you do is iron the wrong side first, flip that seam up, flip the whole piece over, and then iron it. No, lurking is perfectly fine, Shadow Fairy. You know I love lurkers. I love my lurkers. You guys are great. Because you know what? If chat for me is dead, if people aren't talking a lot, I know you guys are just quilting and sewing. Thank you for being here, Eva. I appreciate it. All right, so that's now good. So we're going to iron this straight up. Yes, I know. Hello, Keycat. And then flipping it over. And then ironing that side. All right, so now our pieces are facing the correct direction. I know. You're a good kitty cat. Okay, so this is going to go down towards the black, up towards the blue, down towards the black. And then, I've got to re-iron this one. I know. Actually, No, I'm going to switch them. Okay, black. Down towards the black, up towards the blue, down. Yes, there we go. Now I don't have to redo it. And then there and there. Now, you should have a few pieces left over. So you should have a few pieces left over. You should have a blue gold combo, a blue dark gold combo, a gold dark gold, and a black and blue. So just take these pieces and set them aside with the extras over there. You may use them in future blocks. Yes, no, yeah, you don't want to be stuck in a hot office. That stinks. All right. Last page. Last page. All right, so together, the one horizontal piece, this lovely piece right here. There are no seams on either side, so it does not make a difference which way we sew this to have the seam point in the direction. So I'm just going to take this and flip it up. So that's easy. Yeah, you have to, I know, I always put a pin in right there where the seam is, so I put a pin at the seam. But then I also put pins on the edges. There we go. All right, Mr. Marley. Hi. Oh, he's laying back to get belly rubs because he doesn't want to move. He says, "Mommy, Mommy, why do you have to move me?" Hi. Tell you what, I'm not going to put you on the ground. You can help me sew this one block, okay? You can help me sew this one block. So, for those of you new to my Twitch stream, Hestia likes to sit herself here in my way. Yes. She's a bit of a nuisance. But she's my nuisance. That's one of the reasons why we got this camera here. So you could see what's going on even when she sits in the way. Or else you wouldn't be able to see what I'm sewing. There you go. Now, do as I say, not as I do. Do not sew over your pins. If you sew over your pins and you hit a pin, you can basically set the timing of your machine off. You can break a needle. It is not any issue at all. Yes, look away. When I'm sewing over my pins, look away. Hi, Serania. I'm going to talk about Hestia on Friday. So, yeah. Don't sew over your pins. Do as I say, not as I do. Ugh. There we go. I'm going to squish you over. There you go. All right. So, oh, I need to iron this. It doesn't make a difference which way this gets ironed.
What Tony says, not what she does.
Thank you so much for this bit, Sapphire. I super appreciate you. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, what I say, not what I do. You just triggered another giveaway that we will do on Friday's stream, so thank you very much for that tip. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's do this. Now we have all of our pieces laid out. Now comes the fun part. Let's do all the pinning. All right, so these arrows tell us the direction to pin. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So on the bottom, it goes to the right. All right, so we're going to take this right piece, flip it over this left piece, and pin it in place. So let's do this. The easiest way to remember, and this is the this is the nice efficient way of doing it, where how you pin it sets you up for sewing and ironing. So it's an easy way. Why doesn't the Mage feel so good? Hi, Azure. Alright, so, easy way that I remember to do it. This is pointing to the right, so you take right over left. Pointing to the right means right over left. There you you go. Right over left. And pinning in place. Yes, he will be fixed soon. Or she. Or she. I always thought that Black Mage, I always thought of Black Mage as a woman. Thank you very much, Azure. It is Canada Day here. Today is a holiday in Canada. There we go. All right, next row. Pointing to the left. So, with the pointing to the left, we want to take this left piece, flip it over the right piece, and pin it in place. So, if arrow points to the left, you want to go left over right. There we go. Left over right. I think this is the most tedious part of the entire process. Is pinning everything. Left over right. And we have a lonely little piece. It's a lonely little piece all by itself. So we're going to take this lonely little piece. We're going to put it right here. And we're going to make sure that we incorporate this lonely little piece at the next pass. So every single time I go through and I do a sewing, I call those passes. All right, so the third row, we're going to the right. So we're going to pick up that right piece, flip it over the left, and pin it into place. Oh, Shadow Fairy. Thank you very much, Jan Bear. We had a lovely, lovely time at a family Canada Day picnic yesterday. I'll talk about it a bit on Friday. Now, normally I would be streaming Thursday evening. However, it's the 4th of July. And my evening class, my evening streams, I tend to have all of my my Australians and my North America people. And I was like, well, you know what? It's mostly North America people. No, I'm not going to stream. Because I think most people are going to be out. Okay, right over left. Yes, to the right. Okay, right over left. And pin it into place. Yeah, so while I'm doing, and it's basically, seriously, this is all we're doing for the next 10 minutes, is pinning. So, next row is to the left, so left over right, and pinning in place. So for those of you that are watching on YouTube, if you don't know about Twitch, Twitch is a live streaming service, as you can see, because I'm interacting with everyone. I like to describe it as a Facebook Live, where it's all about the interactions, it's about talking to people, it's about doing that stuff, but I have the ability to actually have a fully produced stream. So I can have different camera angles, I can have scene changes. We normally are able to do interactions on stream. I'm sure you saw the bouncing emotes that pop up now and then. I also normally have what's called GIFbot, where you can actually have GIFs appear on the stream. But I have that turned off for today because we don't want that getting in the way of watching what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So it's a lot of fun. Okay, next row to the right. So I'm picking my right piece over my left piece and pinning it into place. right over left. And pinning into place. There's also all sorts of cool, amazing things like subs, that you can get special emotes. What I really love is when someone subs to my channel with the quilt emote, and then they go into a large video game streamers site that they watch, and put the quilt emote in. Every now and then, I'll get video game streamers message me and go, "Hey, so someone was using your emote in my stream. You quilt on Twitch?" And I say, yes. In fact, yes, I do. There we are. And this is, oh, we have another lonely little piece. So we're going to leave that lonely little piece right there. Next, to the left. Left over right. And pinning it in place. Go. Left over right. I know, right, Nikki? Yeah. Well, see, and the people that, there are a lot of people actually still on Twitch that don't know about creative streams because they've never looked beyond the video games. Twitch has evolved into so much more. You remember, it initially started as Justin TV, with basically watching this guy's life 24/7. He just happened to play video games, but it also showed the other aspects of his life as well. So Twitch is based upon things that we do in life. And I'm a professional quilter. Go. And lonely little piece. Set it right there. Okay, next. To the right. We want to take our right piece, flip it up over the left, and pin it into place. I know. Did the kitty cat scare you, Marley? She does that. Now, my regulars may notice, if you were not here last week for the giveaway stream on that Tuesday,
Congratulations, you have just followed Quiltoni.
In another stream
Your taste must be exquisite.
Ownzer, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So I have joined a new stream team, the Yam Fam. I will talk more about the Yam Fam and the stream team and all sorts of cool stuff with that on Friday as well. I have all sorts of things to catch you guys up on Friday. There we go. To the right. And another lonely little piece. Alright, row 2 goes to the left. So we're taking that left piece, flipping it over the right, and pinning it into place. Thank you so much for those bits, Ginger. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I love that. I keep looking in there and I see all the people that you're gifting all of the emotes to. That is amazing. I can't wait to check. Oh, I think I got one. Because it says user notice reward. That's the second one that I got. So I think you just gave me an emote. Thank you. I know, right, Nikki? After the stream's over, I'm gonna have to look to see if I have, how many I'm still missing. I'm just really happy that they decided to keep those Pride emotes, because they're freaking amazing. Especially the, are they wings? Yes, the pride wings. I know, right, Nimbus Street? Like, that's what I really, really, really want, is the 2 wings. But, so, of course, now I'm home again in Canada. I can hopefully spend some more time in other streams.
More gifts for Al.
And I got another one! User Dennis Reward! Thank you, Nikki. Thank you so much for all those bits. I appreciate you. There you go. Okay, for those of you watching on YouTube, they're like, what's going on? The month of June, and they've extended it now until July the 5th. Twitch has a special set of Pride emotes. And they're colorful, and they're amazing. You see them bouncing on the stream sometimes? They're pretty darn cool. Alright, last row! This is going to the right. So we're picking up that right piece, flipping it over the left, and pinning it into place. So for the month of June until July the 5th, anytime somebody cheers with at least 200 bits, and bits are the currency of Twitch. Cheering means that they're tipping me. They're saying, I enjoy your stream, I enjoy your content, here's a small tip. So if you tip with at least 200 bits, which equals out to be about $2, then it unlocks emotes for people here in chat. So for the 200, it unlocked 3. 3 in chat. Nikki did a 500 bit cheer. So she unlocked 10 emotes for people in chat. Oh, that's awesome, Sapphire. Did you not get any of the wings yet, Sapphire? Oh, dead on. That's so cool. Alright, and then to the right. Man, I want those wings so much. Those wings are so cool. And last but not least, to the right. Whew. What time is it? It is 2:39. Alright, we're going to be taking a break at 3 o'clock. Oh my gosh. Phew. Now is probably a good... Aw, Impistry. Thank you so much.
Come on, wings.
Thank you so much for those bits. I appreciate you. Marley is confused. He's like, I hear the ding, but I'm not getting treats. And Soleil isn't barking because I have Soleil and Alfred trapped upstairs. They're not down here. Because I didn't want them getting excited because I wasn't going to give them treats, right? Oh, no wings. Thank you. Thank you so much for those bits. I know. So now is a good time. I'm going to take a quick pause. Any questions? Any questions, concerns, anything at all from what we're doing? And while I'm waiting to see if you have any questions, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm going to sew these. So I'm going to sew them, like I said, with a scant 1/4 inch. So this is my piece of metal right here. I'm going to sew it so I'm not quite touching that piece of metal. Just a little bit to the left of that metal. Yeah, oh no, I'm totally giving them a lot of treats after the stream. Oh, they will get treats. They'll get lots of treats. And I'm also going to be using the cutting gizmo from Fat Quarter Gypsy. This is another one that I purchased. It was not given to me. It is a quick and easy way to separate your chain sewing. Nikki, it's exclamation snip for the separate. Yep, never mind, you knew it. You knew it. So it's a really cool way to separate my chain sewing. So I'm going to put that right there. And let's put my pins right there. Phew. Hi, honey, I have to put you down. I know. I have to put you down. Is that okay? Can I put you down? Okay. I love you. There you go. Hey, says, but mommy, no! What are you doing? Mommy! Alright, let's do some chain sewing. So I'm using a scant 1/4 inch. So just to the left of that piece of metal. Now, if you have a better, thanks, Nikki. If you have a higher end sewing machine and you can change the position of your needle, you can actually take your needle and move it to the right a touch. And if you do that, you actually give yourself a scant 1/4 inch. So, and I know this foot right here supports it. So my needle that's right here is actually a little bit to the left. Sapphire, thank you so much for all those bits. I appreciate you. You guys are awesome. You are fantastic. Thanks for showing Girl November and Noelle's communities how amazing you are. You guys are fantastic. No, it's perfectly okay. I know it went to the teaching. It is perfectly fine. I was finished. So this needle right here, this circle on the foot. In fact, you know what? Let me show you one that's not on the machine. So here is the foot that I'm talking about. It is a 1/4 inch piecing foot with a guide. So it has a piece of metal right there. This particular one fits all low shank machines. If you have a sewing machine or if you're a sewer, you know what that means. It basically just means how high this thing is. So this little circle that's in the middle right there, my needle actually is a little bit to the left of it. So if you have a higher end sewing machine, this is not, I can't do it on this one, but if you do, you can actually move your needle over more to this side. And by doing that, you're actually doing a scant 1/4 inch, and then you can touch the piece of metal right there. Okay, so let's grab the second row. Now, remember I showed you last week, all I'm doing is I'm reaching back and grabbing it. So I grab that second row right here, and then when I finish sewing that, and I finish with the first row that I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it back right here. Okay? So then I'll show you everything for there. All I'm doing is grabbing it and putting it right back again. All right, so let's sew the first one. Now, before I do anything else, and this is the problem I always seem to forget, I just want to keep on sewing. You don't want to do that. Let's trim this. We're going to trim that and set that aside. You don't want to keep on going. If you keep on going, then you're going to have a small problem. Hey, Ben Canuck, how are you today? You got to fish. Thanks for all the fish. Marley, honey, you can't go upstairs. I have the door closed. Come here. I will take you upstairs and let you go potties at 3 o'clock. All right? We still have 15 minutes. So come here. Why don't you come lay down? Come here. Here you go. Look, here's a Chewy. Oh, is that a good Chewy? It is. All right. Go lay down. I'll put you upstairs in about 15 minutes, okay? You can go potties then. All right, so here is our first row that we chained. See how we have everything. What I'm going to do... There we go. I'm like trying to figure out camera angles. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my pieces and I'm going to do this. And set it down. So I'm going from the back forward. So my pieces are facing to the left. This is important because they're in order. If it gets out of order, it's okay. I'll show you how to fix that in a bit. So from the back forward, if you did what you're supposed to and you took your pins out before sewing, go forward, start from the front, not the back. Start from the opposite, because now what I'm doing is I'm taking these and I'm taking my pins out and then putting them in the opposite order. Does that make sense? If you're horrible like I am and you sew over your pins, start from the back whenever you separate your chains. If you do what you're supposed to and take your pins out before you sew, so you don't sew over them, start forwards. So forwards is correct if you do the correct way. Backwards is wrong if you don't do it the right way. There we go. Yeah. All right, next up. We'll sew one, and then we'll separate it and set it aside. And then do the rest. Alright, and same thing. So I'm starting from the back because my pins are still in there. If you don't have your pins in there, then start from the front. And then you're done. Yes, if you followed that, you get a cookie. Yes. If you understand my ramblings and my weird, strange directions, then you get a cookie. Nice job. It's funny. Anytime, you can ask my mods. Anytime I have to write anything at all, I always have at least 1 or 2 people read over it before I submit it. So I have my very first exhibit at Houston, both at Market and Festival, in October, November, this upcoming year. So I had to submit descriptions, and I had to do that, and I was like having problems with words. So I asked not only my mods, but of course my business partner Nicole to take a look at it and make sure that you could understand my words, because words are hard. Words are very hard. Sometimes we know word good. Oops, I dropped my scissors. Marley. Hi. I will let you go, Marley. Marley's run up the steps. Marley says, Mom, I want to go outside. All right, so I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and separate these. And then I will go ahead and take the 15-minute break because I think Marley's got to go outside. And he's like sitting at the top of the steps looking at me. Like, Mommy, please, Mommy. I super word good. Oh, yes. All right, so we'll do that. We will take a small break. I am going to go put the dogs outside, use the restroom, freshen up my drink, do the same, use the restroom. If you are in a classroom, stretch, make sure you get all the stuff out. I'm going to do my opening sequence of the bloopers. While I go and do that, I will come back and then we'll do some stretching. And then we will start up again at 3:05. So, if you're watching on YouTube, just fast forward 15 minutes. So, I will be right back. Hi, I'm Tony. I am a professional video game comic book quilter. I do this for a living. What did you do after I was... But you can't go in on top of that box because you're going to fall over. Oh, he wanted to go in the box. You're going to fall... No. Oh, no. Oh. He fell over. Yes, the defend is strong with this chat. Seriously, cat. Okay, Granite has got this weird thing where he goes... and then throws up everywhere. Whoops! I scared the cat! What do you think you're doing? Oh, stupid mother. Yes, it's in a Y, and then you want to sew down.
Computer, add a cat to my cart.
It looks like Amazon doesn't sell cats.
Oh my god, that's funny. I will dance.
Imagine seeing that on your television.
I know, right?
Just imagine.
I was just in time. Just in time. All right, Alfred, come here. I switched dogs. Come here. You want to say hi to the stream? All right, hello. Say hi. Say this is. I know. This is Alfred. I know. Say hi. Mwah. All right, there you go. All right, under there. He just likes to be down here with me, and he's under his stuff. Oh yes, thanks. Thanks, Nikki. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see what quilts I need to make for Gen Con, because we still have 10 more minutes, so we're taking our break. Stretching. Okay. All right, let's do square. Let's look at my inventory. Okay, sign in. Yes. Yes, I know, Hestia. I love you too. Okay, let's do items. And quilts pieced. All right, so there we go. I've got, let's see, screen web capture. There we go. Let's move this over. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. So I need to make, so Nikki, if you can do the options for the poll. Option 1 is Dark Mage. Option 2, well, Happy Painter I'm doing right now, so that won't be an option. So just Dark Mage so far. Kirby, Loki, Soot Sprite, Superman, TARDIS. Those are all the ones I have to do in the next 3 weeks. Because I'm going to be pinning at the 2.5 weeks. I'm pinning at the Family Center on the 19th. So I have to have all of those finished before the 19th. So which ones do you want me to do first? And I will make sure I do them Friday/Sunday. So, and then go ahead and put the poll up, please. Let's see. Opening. Okay. Oh. Stretching time. We still have 9 more minutes. Really? Really? Really, Kat? Really? Oh, she is an interesting cat. Alright, so questions. Any questions, concerns? How's everyone doing with your blocks? Are you catching up? Thank you, Nikki. So, if you are a regular part of my stream, please click on that link. And vote. Which one do you want me to start with on Friday/Monday? Or Friday/Sunday? I like how everything has like a single vote. And Nikki, do you mind dropping that in Discord too? So if anyone is not here They can go, if they're going to be here Friday/Sunday, they can vote as well for what they want to see first. So far, it looks like Kirby and Loki are in the lead. Oh, there's a Dark Mage. Oh, Kirby's taking a lead. Nobody likes the TARDIS. Aww. Nobody likes the TARDIS. Oh, that's a good point. Let's see. Let's look at Discord. What channel do I want that in? Excuse me. Let's do... Oh, wait. There's a polls. In the polls channel, please. Yeah, it's been a bit quiet. Well, we haven't had any polls. Exactly. Oh, Soot Sprite's taking a lead. Soot Sprite has taken a lead. Thank you. Thanks, Nikki. I appreciate you. So far we've got... Yes. I don't want to pet her because then she'll come over here and she won't bother me. So far we've got the Soot Sprite, number 1, number 2, Kirby. And I'll do them in that order. So, and then what I'll do is I will cut 2 at a time. So that I will, yeah, they really are all adorable. So I'll cut 2 at a time. And then I will hopefully get 1 done on stream. So I may, if I have time, because I have to finish, I should be able to finish the 1 bob tonight or early tomorrow morning. And then if I finish that, then I can start on the, I can start on cutting the Soot Sprites. Sorry, I'm like looking at all of the stuff I've missed. Because we still have 5 more minutes. Yeah. We try to have adorable patterns. We try. I'm looking to see if there's anything important that I have to know. Nope. Hey, Kabuki! Alright, so far it looks like Soot Sprites. I will wait and then I'll look at the poll again after I finish doing the Happy Painters. Then I'll take a look at the poll and I'll see what I'm going to start cutting. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. All right, so I've got that. I think that's everything. All right, 4 more minutes. Do you guys want to talk about anything at all? Questions, concerns? Anything at all with the quilt along? With sewing, quilting? Today's been quiet for questions. Like the first 2 weeks we had so many questions, and then I think everyone's like, "Oh yeah, no, this is an old hat for me. I'm used to this now." Let's see, we still have 2, 3, 4, 5 more to sew, and then I'll start ironing, and then we'll start doing passes. It's funny, so looking at my YouTube channel, the first and the second blocks are exactly 3 hours and 49 minutes. Since, yes, Nikki. Nikki asked, if I missed weeks 1 and 2, can I still get them? Since you want questions. Yes, if you're just finding the quilt along right now, if you work with a participating quilt shop, and the participating quilt shops are listed on my website, that will get you that block for that week for free, with the code from the quilt shop. But then past blocks, if you want to go back and pick up blocks 1 and 2, they are $3 a piece. At the very end of the quilt along, when we're all finished, I will put up the entire package for the entire thing all together for one price. Nicole and I haven't decided on the price yet, so we'll figure that out. So, I know. Thank you. That's a good question, Nikki. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, but I find it funny. Both the first and the second week are exactly 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 47 seconds. How did I do that? Hey, Win, how are you? How did I do? I have a feeling that today's, because it's an easy block, I'm in my home studio, I have a feeling that today's is going to be a little bit shorter. That's my magic number, I know, right? Watch me do 3 hours and 49 minutes today. Yeah. All right. It is almost 3:05. You guys ready to get back to it? You ready to start sewing again? Let's do this. Let's sew. Let's get back to block number 3 of our quilt along. So block number 3, let me put some chapstick on. And then I will change camera angles and we'll get going. All right. And remember, if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask. So just because, let's see, free motion, free motion. There it is. Just because we're doing an actual quilt along doesn't mean you can't ask. Fantastic. I'm glad you popped in, Win. Thank you very much. All right. So, same old, same old. Moving that aside. And yes, I am sewing with a cat blocking my way. At least she's not swiping at my hands, right? Because she will sit behind the machine and just swipe at my hands. There we go. And then I'm not going to move that all the way over there. I'm just going to leave it right here to use. But you know I'm doing it. You know I'm doing it. Yeah, she's just hanging out. She's just chilling. There we go. And then, uh-oh. That was in the 3rd row, or the 9, 8, the 7th row. I'm just going to set that aside for right now. Wait, which way do I want to iron it? Let's see, to the top. Oh, I want to iron it that way. So it'll go there. Yes. All right, well, I guess I'm going to figure out where that piece goes. Oh, I hate finding random pieces. And you're like, wait a second, how did you get there? So all my regular Twitch people, I just want to remind you that we are doing the official quilt along. So every single Monday from now until the end of September, almost to TwitchCon, we are going to be working on a new block. Today is block number 3, the Dark Mage. I know. So if you would like to join us, it's exclamation quilt along to get this week's block. And the schedule is all on that website. So if you click on my website, thequiltoni.com. Oh yeah, the piece, I know, right? So if you go to quiltoni.com and go to the quilt along, there is information there, all of the stuff that you need for the quilt along, and the schedule. So you can actually see which week we're going to do which block. There we go. I don't like how she's staring at me. She's staring at me like she wants to swipe at me. Oh, Hestia. Yes, she is. There's a reason why we have that emote. There's a reason why I have a Hestia with claws out. Win, this is an official, so all the information is on my website. This is an official quilt along. I have people from around the world that are joining us to do this, as well as stores. I have been advertising on my social media for months. Stores are actually holding classes right now that I am teaching as I'm doing this. And of course it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow. So anyone that wasn't able to make the class today can watch it at their leisure. So yes. Hey, Sawkin! Alright, so I've got that. And there. Alright, and then let's do this. I'm just watching the cat. Just make sure the cat's not gonna attack me. Hey, Dawnstar, how are you? Oh. Yes, no. Remember, phrasing and sarcasm and things like that, they go right over my head. I don't understand them. At all. At all. Yeah, and the puns, yeah, no, it's okay. I thought you were saying that, oh, wait, you're doing all your Mondays? What? Sorry. I know. How are you, Dawnstar? There we go. Oops, come on. There we go. Yes, I do get a little oblivious. Alright, now remember, all I'm doing is sewing each of the rows. There we go. And then separating them and taking the pins out exactly the way that I said to do it before we took our break. We're just doing the same thing. Doing the same old, same old. So for the first pass, there's nothing out of the ordinary. Just sew all the pieces. Make sure the pins are all out. And put them back. Alright, one more. One more to go for sewing. There we go. It's funny, I blocked off 4 hours, the 1 to 5 o'clock for this, because I really thought there was going to be a lot more questions and a lot of people basically saying, okay, slow down, re-show me this again. You guys are surprising me, because there's not a lot of that. All right, we've got that. And taking pins out. Now, for those of you that are just popping in, if you're regular Twitch viewers, Friday, when my next stream, I will be talking about all the stuff that's been going on in my life. I will catch you up with Hestia, my new stream team, all the things. All right. So now we're going to take our scrap and put it in. And take that out. And separate the last one. There we go. All right. So, if we take a look at the mats, you see everything looks exactly the way it did before, except, of course, this lonely little piece here. Except they're all sewn and the pins are out. That is the only difference. So, what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to iron them. Remember, we put these a certain way and added pins in there so that it's easy for ironing. So, let me show you. Whoops, not that one. Not that one. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. All right. Let's start the iron. So what I'm going to do, this is my stack, right? My stack of fabrics. I'm going to go from right to left and lay each of those pieces out. So I went right to left. Yes. Yes, I am a pro strimmer. I pushed the buttons. I pushed the buttons. I pushed the buttons real good. Alright, come on. Come on, blinky light. Blinky light, go solid. So sometimes when I wave my fingers, I think it helps. It doesn't. It doesn't help at all. It's funny because compared to a whole bunch of other irons, the Elite Sew actually warms up really freaking fast. Like, I really love it. Oh, there it is. Now it's solid. But I get so impatient because I'm used to it warming up fast that I'm like, go faster. Now, I am using steam for the ironing. There we go. And then I'm going to go left to right. So I put them down right to left. So I'm going to pick them up left to right. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I counted them because right here, I want to look. There's no little leftover pieces. Okay? We want to sew these together. So this is to the right. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at my seams, and this seam goes to the right. All right, so I'm going to be laying these out, and I'm going to count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I've got my pieces all laid out for 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pin these together, going towards the right. And Alfred wants to go upstairs. I'll be right back. 5 seconds. I just have to open the door and let him out. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. See? 5 seconds. Okay. So I'm leaving this one here because I can only pin an even number, right? So I'm going to leave the first one there, and I'm going to pick up this next one. And this is going to the right. So, chat, if I'm going to the right, which piece am I picking up and flipping it over the other one? Am I picking up this right piece, or am I picking up the left piece? So again, the arrow is going to the right. So which piece am I picking up to flip over the other one? Exactly, Nikki. So right piece over left. If arrow goes to the right, right over left. So I'm going to pick that up and pin that in place.
Thank you for subscribing to
you.
Quilt Tony. Grab your needles and head down to the sweatshop. I mean,
and
factory.
this one right over left and pin it in place.
Look at that sassy quilter, less than 3 only. Only 58 days, 18 hours, 42 minutes to go till why have more dragon fun, less than 3, less than 3.
Thank you so much for that resub. I super appreciate you, Am and Q. Thank you very much. And yes, I will be at DragonCon. Yes, I will be streaming live from DragonCon. So you guys can share in all the DragonCon fun. It'll be amazing. Hey, kitties! Hey, Wise Cube! Alright, so this is, and again, thank you so much for your resub. I appreciate you. Alright, so row 2. Let's do that one. Let's iron this. So I'm laying it out right to left. I'm going to go ahead and just iron them all, lay them out, and then I'll go back and do all the pinning. I think that'll be nice. It is, kitties, and I will be talking about that on Friday because remember, Mondays are reserved for our official quilt along. We do have people joining us from around the world and in official quilt classes. So we are teaching people live in classes right now. So all the personal things like that we'll be talking about on Friday. All right, so we've got that. So I'm picking it up left to right. And this is going to the left. This is the last one. So I'm laying these out. At this point, you should be able to tell if you flipped any pieces or not. So I have a horrible habit of flipping pieces. I mean, let's be honest. I still do it. So, all right. I know I'm going to do that one. Man. So at this point is when you can make sure if you've laid them out correctly, if you've sewn them correctly, if you've done any of that. Oops. Come on. There we go. My iron was caught. Alright, now I'm going to have to remember how this goes in there. Alright, this goes to the right. So that's good. That's... No. That one. And then that one. And then that one. There we go. That's right. That's right. Alright, so let's lay this out. Right to left. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, so Nikki sent me something the other day saying that, I don't remember exactly what it was. There is a tradition in complicated knitting things of making a small mistake someplace so it allows your soul to escape. What was that story again, Nikki? I don't remember. So, left to right. There we go. And then this is that one. So it's going to the left. And I am double checking with my pattern. I'm double checking to make sure that everything here is the same exact thing in the pattern. So then that way, whoops. If I did make a mistake, I can catch it right away and I can fix it. I'm just waiting for one of these weeks to have a flipped piece upside down. So my problem is I tend to go too fast. I tend to speed through things.
Thank you for subscribing to Quilt
And so I make mistakes.
Grab your needles and head down to the sweatshop. I mean, factory.
And this is to the right.
19 months. I know that it's getting old, but still, what can I say except you're welcome?
Thank you very much,
Sorry for
Wise
being so quiet these last months.
Thank you.
Exclamation mark.
Thank you so much for that resub, Wise Cube. I super appreciate you. You're amazing and awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And there's a tier 2 as well. Oh, that's right. In Ireland, it said that you leave a bit of your soul trapped in everything you crochet. So to avoid this, you should always work in a hidden mistake so your soul can escape. That's right, that's what it was. And so she sent that to me, and she said, this is all you're doing by making mistakes in things, is you're allowing your soul to escape. And it made me laugh. There you go. Alright, and this is to the left. I've got that. Left. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Next. Well, it's easy to do in quilting, too. There we go. Perfect. And this is to the right. Oh, really? See, I didn't know the Amish did mistakes on purpose as well. Okay, let's double check. I'm making sure everything is right. And then that one. Perfect. All right, 2 more to iron. And then we will finish pinning for pass number 2. You know what I realized this morning? I still haven't uploaded the video from the threadication stream that we had at the A&E. So I need to make sure I do that soon. So when I get today's stream downloaded and uploaded to YouTube, I'll try to get that one done as well. No, exactly. No one is perfect. As humans, we are inherently flawed. It's only a matter of, do you understand yourself and understand your flaws? Or do you pretend it doesn't happen? All right, we've got that. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is, last but not least, to the right. Oops. There we go. To the right. There he is. Hey, Umbridge, how are you? All right, so let's start back with row number 8. And this is going to the left. So let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to skip that first one. This is going to the left. So left over right. And pinning it in place. Left over right, and pinning it in place. Okay, next one's to the right. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's easy. I like that. Look at him / her come together. Oops. I didn't actually put the pin in that one. There we go. Thank you for the host, Umbridge. I appreciate it. All right, and then here, this is to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to skip that first one. Now, we're skipping that first one whenever we have an odd number to make sure if we have any lonely little pieces out here that haven't been sewn yet, that we include them, that we sew them. Because you always want to try to include. All right, so we've got that. And here. Yes. And I heard her little meow too. I like how she's like lounging and stretching in the way. Okay, next is to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skipping that one. I'm like watching her going, what does she think she's doing? There we go. We've got that. Next one to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because there's an even number, we're going to include all the pieces. And that's the trick. If it's an odd number, leave for the second pass. If it's an odd number, leave the first one. If it's an even number, include them all. Really? Thank you so much for those bits, Impistry. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing the love and unlocking some Pride emotes. Alright, next is to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're including them all. I think it unlocked another one for me because it says user notice reward. Woohoo! I cannot wait to check after stream to see the emotes that have been unlocked for me. Thank you so much. There we go, to the right. Kitties, they actually announced, they sent a social media out and an email out. They're extending it until July the 5th, and you get to keep the Pride emotes forever. So they did make an announcement about that. Okay, and then the next one is to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. So I'm including them all. Go to the left. I hope that they would change their minds because they changed them on the other emotes that were unlocked before. And to the left. There we go. And last but not least, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. Ginger, thank you so much. Thank you so much for those bits. I appreciate you. And just a reminder, we are doing the official quilt along, so any giveaways that are unlocked are going to be done on Friday. So the next stream is going to be Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern. So all the giveaways that you guys have triggered from this stream, we will be doing on Friday. And there is a poll up in Discord right now for which quilt you would like to see me work on. All right. Now, same exact thing we did for the first pass. Now all we're doing is sewing. And let's separate the scrap. In fact, let me show you. All I'm doing is reaching back, grabbing this piece, this stack, sewing. There we go. Separating, taking pins out. Cracky Queen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for those bits. I appreciate you. And then I put that back. You saw I put it back where I got it from, and I grabbed the next one. So this is all I am doing for grabbing these stacks. There we go. Thank you very much for those bits. I appreciate you. Alright, we've got that. And there. Now, this pass will take a lot less time than the first pass did. Well, we're not going to take a 15-minute break in between. Oh, you know what? Do you know what I forgot? We haven't had music in 30 minutes. I'm like, why is it so quiet? I forgot to turn the music back on. Well, Dawnstar, I have to stay organized. This is what I do for a living. If I am not organized and efficient, I'm not making money. So it's one of those things, you kind of have to, right? And I have spent the past 12 years of my quilting career trying to find more and more efficient ways to do things. Oh. Oh. I dropped my scissors. Drop the scissors. An occasional mistake, of course, which is actually, we just had that discussion about no one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes, and I make mistakes all the time. But being organized is extremely important for what I do and how I do it in order to be able to make money. If I was not organized, I would lose my things all the time, and I would waste so much time not quilting and working on things. I would be using that time for finding things. And that's just not a good, efficient use of time. There we go. Alright, and then separate this. So any questions, concerns, observations, anything at all you guys have about the block, quilt along, any of the techniques I'm doing? She likes to sit on top of my sewing machine. As you saw in the bloopers, when she does that, if I'm making a quilt that's going to be sold or that's going to go to somebody else, I always have to make sure I then clean my machine out. Ah. Honey, you're in the way. Alright, you see what's happened? The thread has bunched up. So, this happens a lot with my inexpensive machine. It's not the bobbin. It's the thread. So it bunches up. It basically folds back in on itself and then it undoes things. So, let's do this. We'll trim this again. And then re-thread it. There we go. Re-thread. And then I'm just going to pick up where I left off right here. There we go. Perfect. See what I did? Oh. Okay, that's why. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I was like, why do I have... Yeah, I confused myself. There we go. Hi. Okay, so this is there. Alright, I'm just making sure I get them in the right order. Okay, then I got that. Okay. Now I thought I forgot to separate it, but I didn't. That was the first piece in the new one. I confuse myself all the time. I mean, it is super easy to do. It is super, super easy to confuse me, by the way. I don't know if anyone's realized that yet. And when I confuse myself, yes. It's a run bee. What's a run bee tail? Whew, okay. Let's do some ironing. Now, in this case, all I do is I pick these up. I lay them down. Oh, I gotta wait for that to warm up again. Oh, look, it's warmed up. Fantastic. More water. There we go. Whoops. There you go. Now it's flat. Left over right, and this is to the right. Whoops. Oh, I dropped my fabric. Oh, run by like a drive-by. A run-by tail. I get it. I get it. Dun-dun-dun. Yeah, I get it. And this is to the left. I'm still checking to make sure all of my pieces are laid out correctly. I didn't mix them up. I didn't flip anything. This is to the right. If you want to start one, go ahead. If you don't know how to put that in, I'm sure WiseCube can help. Because he's our resident programmer. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. There we go. Perfect. I mean, we have a counter for Monkey for how many times Monkey's goofed, a counter for how many times I've goofed. We can do a drop counter. Okay, and this is to the right. I'm just double checking. Okay, I don't trust myself, so I'm double checking to make sure everything's good. So this is to the left. That looks good. All right, 1, 2, 3 to the right. And this is to the left. This is to the right. And of course I put those in the wrong order whenever I was doing it. All right, so now let's do some pinning. So with the pinning, whenever you have 3 pieces, it is the most efficient way, as Hestia comes to her close. That's funny. All right, so the most efficient way to sew this is flip both of the sides in on the middle and then pin it. So that we'll pin this side. Now, you always want to pin at the seams first. So always pin those seams first to make sure you get that perfect nest. And then we're going to flip it around the other way. And pin that center one first. There we go. Same thing here. Now we've got that one there. Now this one is longer than that center piece that we're going to be folding it over. So I'm actually going to fold this back. so that we can see both of the seams and it's easy to sew. Because that's the thing, right? We don't want to make it more complicated for ourselves. We want to make this easy. And then turn it around. There we go. All right, this one is just a 2, so seams go to the right, so we take that right over left and pin it into place. Now, there's no seam on top here, but there's a seam hidden underneath. So we want to make sure that we still pin that seam first. Yes, this is, she definitely wants to lay on the machine, but the machine that she likes to lay on is not the one that's there. All right, so there's another 3, so we're going to flip it in, fold this back. Let's turn this around. There we go. Same thing. Folding that back. Folding that back. So any questions on how to pin or fold or things like that? Whenever you have 3 pieces? Everyone's got it? Man, you guys are making this super easy. We're going to be done like really early today because there's not a lot of questions and I haven't had any technical difficulties. Like, we may be done at like 4:30 Eastern. There we go. And then fold. Oh yes, because you're an hour behind. Alright, and let's go this. Fold it. Now, in this case, I don't have enough folding it just one time, so I'm going to fold it twice. We want to make sure that we don't block our edges. We have to make sure that these edges are open so it's easy for us to sew. So remember, it's all about ease of use. I was translating it for you. Yeah. Totally what it was, Nikki. Totally what it was. There we go. And then flipping it around. There we go. And this only has 2 pieces, and the seams go to the right, so the right goes over the left. Move it so those seams nest right there, and then pin it in place. Go. Beautiful. And that's it. All right, so our rows are done. We just need to sew the final ones. So I'm going to group these up just like I grouped them up in 2s before. We're going to group them up in 2s. Now, in this case, so 9, 8, so row 7 and 6. For 7 and 6, this is a 3, this is a 2. So we want to sew this first. And you'll see why whenever I do the sewing. There we go. And then that one, last but not least. All right, let's do some sewing. Let's do some sewing. So we're going to take our 2 rows. Let's trim that. So we sew the one side of the 3. Thank you so much for the host fairy. I appreciate it. Here's our second one. Now, because we're doing a 3 back and forth, we're going to take this first one. And we're going to flip it around and now sew the other side of it. Same thing with the second one. We're going to take it, we're going to flip it, and we're going to sew it. So now we've got both of our sides. All right, let's grab our next one. Same exact thing. We're going to sew one side of it first. Let's trim both of these off. I'm going to take the pins out and set it aside. Yeah, if you guys don't know Fairy Wings, please make sure you shoot her a follow. She's an awesome, amazing, fantastic chainmail artist. Those of you in the quilt community may know, if you are from a store or in the business, if you went to Spring Market of last year, you actually met her and saw her. The one that was out in Portland. It was a lot of fun. So she was my guest. She came out. I taught her how to sew. We live streamed it. It was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. All right, so we've sewed that. So we're going to take off this first one and we're going to flip it and sew it. There we go. And then we're going to grab the next one. Now we're going to keep them in groups of 2 because it makes it easy to then combine them together. So thank you very much for the host, Fairy. I appreciate you bringing your people over. For those of you, if you just came over from Fairy's stream, I'm Tony. I'm a professional video game comic book quilter, and we are doing an official quilt along today. Every single Monday, with the exception of the week of August, it's going to be Tuesday, and nothing the week of Labor Day. We're doing this. We're going to be doing different blocks, week after week, where you can join us or just hang out. It's completely up to you. Hang out, chill, chat, or sew along with us. We have people joining us from around the world. There are also people that are sitting on quilt classes right now that are sewing along with us. Basically, a live worldwide quilt class. I couldn't think for a moment. My brain, words are hard. Brain wasn't working. Brain was not working. And thanks for the shout out, Nikki, for Fairy. I appreciate you. There we go. Phew. Man. So we're sewing the one side, trimming this, pulling these over. Taking those pins out. And then sewing this side. So remember, whenever we pinned the 3 pieces together, we're going to take this and spin it and sew the other side. So for those of you that joined me from Fairy's stream, you may notice Hestia laying here in front of me. I will be talking about her and other things that have been happening in my life on Friday's stream. All right, let's grab this last one because Friday's the next time I'm streaming. And we've got this. Because it's summertime schedule, so I take off Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and of course Thursday is a holiday in the States. And Thursday night, I get a lot of people in the States, so I'm like, I will just take the night off. I will get some work done for Gen Con that I've got to get done. Alright, and let's do that. And then now let's take our scrap fabric, pop that in. Take those pins out. And they're fantastic. So, let's see. As you see, I've got my rows all grouped up here in sections. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to iron. So I'm going to shake this out and I'm going to make it so that my seams are pointing down. The seams are pointing down. That's how I know I have it laid out correctly on my ironing board. So all my seams are pointing down. So then I'm going to iron it. Yes, I'm also going to be talking about Gen Con on Friday as well. So then I'm going to iron. As you iron, the seams then point up. this goes to the right, this goes to the left, just like that. All right, so after we do that, we're going to pin them. So I'm going to take this bottom row, I'm going to flip it up over that top row. I'm going to line up all of my seams. So I'm going to find where my seams come together, and I'm going to put a pin in there. And then I'm going to go back through. There's no seam there, so I'll put a pin right there. So I'm going to search until I have the next time my seams both line up. So my seams line up right here. I'll make sure those seams are tucked together. So make sure that I am nesting those seams, so I'm going to get a perfect point. And then I'm going to stretch this fabric a little bit to make sure this lays out, and put a pin in that seam that's underneath. Oops, I didn't catch it. Look, I don't think I caught it. Let me catch that seam. Yep, right there. There we are. All right, same thing. We're going to look forward. We've got a pin in there. And a pin there. Oops, there's a seam right here. So make sure I do that. And there. There. Oh, there's a seam right here. Why am I pinning the seams, Nikki? That's a great question. I am pinning those seams even whenever they don't line up. So I have a seam right there that I pinned. Because if there's a seam underneath that I'm not, or on top that's not meeting with something, as I'm putting it into the sewing machine, that seam can flip. And if that seam flips, it's going to add extra bulk to your quilt top. And it's going to cause issues for whenever you free motion quilt it. Whenever you actually sandwich it and quilt it together, it's going to cause some issues. And you don't want issues. All right, so there's my first one. So I'm actually going to set that aside right there. All right, next. I'm not going to show you the ironing because it's going to be fast. And we've got that. Iron. Iron. Basically, my seams are facing down, and I iron it up. All right. Next to this one goes to the right. This one goes to the left, just like that. So we're going to take our bottom one, we're going to flip it up and pin that in place. Perfect. We've got that. And I'm going back and I'm pinning all of those seams that are underneath. There we go. I'll pin that nesting, pin that seam. Oh, there's a seam right there that I can feel with my finger. There's a nest. Nothing there. So after I pin the nested seams, I go back through and I take my finger to feel if there's a seam underneath that needs pinned. If there's not, I don't worry about it. There we go. And there's the next one. All right, let's do this one. And that is all this step is. This is my favorite part of my quilt patterns. Because whenever you start sewing the rows together, this is whenever you can actually start seeing your picture. You can actually start seeing those pixels. Okay, the next two. This goes that way. This goes to the right. I goofed. Nothing's flipped, but these two pieces are reversed. Okay. And I did not pay attention to this before. So, this one, okay, that needs to be flipped with this. All right, so I'm going to, yep, your seam ripper is your best friend. Everyone makes mistakes, as you see. You could even look through and make sure that you're doing everything. Oh yes, this is frog sewing. This is, Jan Bear introduced me to frog sewing because you're ripping it. Ribbit, ribbit, get it? Yes. All right. So, seam rippers are fantastic. Make sure you invest in a good seam ripper. Don't just use the seam ripper that comes with your machine. This is my favorite seam ripper in the entire world. It is by Seam Fix. Yes, yes, I know. But I knew right away because there's not supposed to be a blue piece right here between those eyes. You can look at the picture over in the upper left-hand corner and see that. That's supposed to be right here. I know, right, Jose? And the only reason why I noticed it, because I'm looking at that blue piece going, there is not supposed to be a blue piece between the eyes. There you go. All right, so after you rip it, iron all those seams flat again. So that one's good. These all need ironed flats. Okay, after you iron them flats, this is why I like the Seam Fix, because on the end of here is an eraser. Watch how easy this thread comes out. There you go. See how easy that thread comes out? And there's no thread left. I know, right? I jinxed myself. Although, in all fairness, this shouldn't take too long. But I jinxed myself. Man. Okay. All right. All the thread is out. Now, chat, why is it important to get rid of all of the thread after you seam rip? Why should you care? All right, let's lay this back out again so it goes that way. And then this. That one. And then that one. And then that one. Okay, so it's the left. So let's flip left over right and pin it in place. Nikki, we have a goof counter. If you look it up, it'll actually tell you on the spreadsheet how to add a goof to the goof counter. So anytime I do something like that, or I flip a piece, or if I do something like that, add it to the goof counter. Nope, that's not it. That's a good guess, Jose. So it doesn't clog the machine. That's a good guess, but that's not why. Anyone else have a guess of why it's important you remove all that thread? Left over right and pin it in place. But that is a really good guess. Oh, frog faces. Oh, I get it. Yes, but you can do both. You can do the goof counter and frogs. Or you could add the frogs to the goof counter. Not necessarily stuck there forever. So that's also a good guess. So Nikki had guessed, so the thread's not stuck there forever. Basically what happens is whenever you go to sew your thread, or sew this piece now, if there were little pieces of thread stuck through there, whenever you go to open your seam, you may have the little pieces of thread hanging out through here. So they may stick in your piece. So then they're going to stick out and be an eyesore. So remove them now before you forget. All right. Now I'm going to be efficient. Exactly, Minion Mama. Remove the loose thread at the time so the thread is not coming out of the finished quilt. Cheap machine. I told you. It's because this machine is cheap. It happens all the time. All right, you know what? We are going to do this. Oh, hey. Hi, Dust Bunnies. All right. Let's take a moment and clean out lint out of here. I'll just take a quick moment. Let's get all of this lovely, lovely thread lint out. There we go. And then where are my tweezers? There are my tweezers. And I'm gonna reach under here. There should be thread. Well, maybe not. That's why I did this, because I thought there was thread in there. No, I guess it fell through. No, okay, I don't have any extra thread. Farming Dust Bunnies? Yes. Yes, I have. Alright, let's throw that away. Perfect. Alright, you're going back in there. And then you're going there. And then you're going here. And then there. Fantastic. Okay. Now let me re-thread this. And trim you. Yes, Hestia had to check it out. Yes. I know, right, Abby? They should add that to future sewing machines. Like a vacuum system to just suck all the lint out. So that so you don't have to worry about cleaning it out on a regular basis. You don't have to like undo the whole thing. I bet that would be super expensive though. That would be like a top of the line, top of the line, top of the line machine. I can tell when it's time for allergy medicine. When my nose starts bothering me. Okay. Now, let's try this again. There we go. Alright, as I was saying, I'm going to be efficient and go ahead and sew one of these strips. Really? And that is why we have that lovely Hestia emote. Because she's really not a nice cat. Alright, let's go. It's a good thing I don't have to put my hand on the other side of the sewing machine. Or else she may try to swipe it. Because that is what those feed dogs are for. Oh, cat. Okay. All right, let's go back to the mats. I'm going to iron these two quickly. And there we go. mistake from the very beginning. Yeah, instead of going that way, watch. Watch what I did. I sewed it on that way. It should be that way. I turned it a quarter turn. For some reason, I did that. It should be that. Man. All right, so that way. It should be that. How did I do that? Like, seriously, how did I go to fix it and I still messed it up? Yeah, too bad that's... You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and sew both sides right now. I'm going to try to be efficient. Efficiency. Woohoo! Alright, let's do that side first. I'm putting you away. Okay, this side first. It's magic. Magic. Oh, that's cool. Handheld has a bottle just behind the nozzle, so if you drop beads, the beads... Oh, that's really cool. That's really, really cool, Mini Mama. I might have to go get a tiny craft vacuum. That sounds really neat. All right, let's take off. Oops, sorry. I forgot to do that. Pro streamer, everyone. Pro streamer. Oh my gosh. Is it 5 o'clock yet? Is this done yet? Oh. All right, let's put that back. Let's sew this one. We're gonna flip it. There we go. So we can sew that right there. Oops. I'm gonna put you there so you don't fall away. Or until I get the block done. Oh my gosh. There we go. I don't have anything else to sew, so I'm just gonna put my scrap back in. There we go. Man. Thank you, Capes. I appreciate that you believe in me. I will find out if I screwed it up again whenever I iron it. What was I saying? I'm surprised I didn't flip any pieces or have any problems until now. Like, because my problem is I rush. I rush and I don't pay attention. And when I do that, I mess up. All right, let's do this. Nope, not that one. That one. Okay. Really? I think I got it. I think I got it. That looks good. That looks good. I know I jinxed myself. I know. I jinxed it. I jinxed it. Look! That looks a lot better, doesn't it? That looks a lot better. Okay. Let's flip this. And pin this. It's starting to look like a thing! Now, this is a super long piece. There's no seam under here, but that's a long piece to not have any pins, so I put a pin in the middle. Because I don't want a big long stretch without any pins. That's not good. Because then the fabric may slip and it may not sew straight. Hey, it's okay if you make a mistake. In fact, 2 of my quilts that are in the exhibit have mistakes in them. I flip pieces in my exhibit quilts. There we go. That goes there. Let's iron these next ones. Okay, that scared me for a minute. As I'm ironing this one, there's like a little gold piece that's sitting out in the middle of nowhere. I was like, did I mess up again? No, I did not. See? This is the one I was worried about. I was like, no! Why is there a little piece out in the middle of nowhere? Because it's the end of this. It's the hat point. Same thing, this is an open area here, so I just put a pin right in the middle. Now, I apologize for this camera, not only for the shadows, but also for the camera itself. See how it freezes a little bit, and it also doesn't focus nicely. This camera right here is the cheapest of all my cameras. One of these days, I will remember to switch it with the dog camera, because the dog camera doesn't have to be a super nice camera. If I have time before Friday's stream, I will do that, and then so hopefully next Monday, this will be a better stream. And I just have to figure out how I can shine light here without having it have the shadows, but not drown it out. Because all the lights that I use that I have are daylights from the Daylight Company. I super love daylights. They're fantastic, but they tend to wash out. Watch, case in point. That's my daylight light. You like how super bright and in your face that is? So I'm gonna have to try to find another soft light in order to put there. So I'll see if I can find one. So there's no shadows. There we go. Last but not least, this one does not need pinned because it's all by itself. Now you notice how we have 5 rows. I do not want to sew these 2 together. I want to sew these 2 together and these 2. Because we're going to group them so that these 2 are already sewn together. Remember what I said, we always want to include the lonely little pieces when possible. So we set aside the first one to include that lonely little piece. So we'll take these 2. Really? A piece of tracing paper. I did not think of that. I can't do it for that one. Well, I only have one other daylight and I have it here. You can kind of see the glare a little bit. I have it over the top of the dogs. I need to get another bulb. I wonder. Ooh. I have an idea. Okay, I'm gonna play with my idea later and see if I can figure it out. Okay, so this one has already been sewn. So this is the one I want to sew now. Oh, sorry. Sorry. I need to change the cameras. There you go. Now this one. I think I have an idea, but I just gotta see if I can get it to work. I'll play with it over the next few days. See if we can't get a better camera angle. There we go. So this one's gonna go here on top of that. And then I'm going to use my scrap. All right. Now, let's combine these together. At this point, it does not make a difference which way you iron your seam. You can iron it towards the top. You can iron it towards the bottom. It does not make a difference. Yes, Robert! So, for those of you on YouTube that can't read chat, Robert Table says, I have an idea. Everyone, awesome. Is it a good idea? Also me. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, just because you have an idea doesn't mean it's going to work, which is why basically I have a smaller daylight, a portable one that is, has a rechargeable battery. So I'm going to see if I can get that one with a small diffuser on it to see if I can get it to work. No. That is not right. That is right. There we go. Alright, right there's my first one. Yeah. Fine. Trust me. It's gonna be fine. That's whenever you go, really? I don't know. Alright, so for those of you that are making this block along with me, or those of you that are taking notes to make it later in the future, any questions, any concerns, anything at all about any of the techniques, the things that I'm using, or is everyone just busy sewing and you're following along just fine? Any of the stores, I know that a couple of the classes in the stores, you don't have chat up, so you can't see what's going on in chat. You can, of course, sign in on your phone if you like, and see chat and participate, if you're not too busy sewing. So then that way you can ask questions if you want. Alright, so there's that. Now let's do this one. There we go. And right there. So, flipping this up. Now, after I sew these all together, the last step is going to be squaring our block. So we're going to be squaring our block to 18 inches. Now that I have my larger cutting mat, it's going to be a lot easier to square this block. And I think after having all of those issues squaring the block with that small space at the store, I may bring my large mat to work on, or I may just say square it to 18 inches. If you want to see how it's done, look at the other videos. And then the first video that I make back home again after my month-long absence in August, I'll be at Tomorrow's Treasures in Maryland. I may start those streams by quickly squaring those blocks. Alright, so we've got this one. Let's sew them. Let's sew these two. Now, the reason you may notice I have my fingers right here holding, what I'm doing, because I'm doing a horrible, horrible thing and sewing over my pins, you may notice I put my hand down like this whenever it's getting ready to sew over a pin. And that is in case I hit the pin, I can help guide it through and so it doesn't get stuck. Now, I open my hands. Thank you, Mini Mama. I'm opening my hands so that I don't want to pull it or push it or do other things. So I'm not tempted to pull this fabric through, because you never, ever, ever want to pull fabric through your machine or push it through your machine. Robert Table says it doesn't break and fly in your eye. I have no control over that. Actually, by holding it and pulling it so it doesn't get stuck, I have absolutely no control if it actually breaks the needle. That being said, I use Schmetz Chrome. So because I use the actual Schmetz Chrome, it's a better needle, it's a stronger needle, and it's less likely to break, although it does still break. Ask Capes and Arrows. She has broken quite a few Schmetz Chrome. So yes, don't sew over your pins. You still have the chance of it breaking and going into your eye. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. Yes, yes, we are living on the edge. Okay, let's... Last step to sew our block together. So we're going to iron everything and lay it out. Good afternoon, Moon Witch. How are you today? There you go. And last but not least, there you go. And lay that out. All right, so we're going to sew these three pieces together. So how we're going to do this is we're going to take our bottom, flip it up over that middle part, and pin it in place. So pinning your seams that meet first, make sure you are nesting those seams. And then going back and pinning all of the seams that don't meet anything, just so they don't flip. There we go, we got this one here. There we go. Now I'm going to take this one right here, the top, flip it over the middle, and flip the whole thing. Alright, once I sew this, we're going to square it up. So, last chance. Any questions? Concerns? Anything at all with your block, with quilting, with sewing? Come on, get in there. That pin, my hand didn't want to work and the pen didn't want to go in. There we go. That's it. All right. Let's sew it. Let's sew it. How did my thread break? I hate that. Oops. I have to have my needle up in order to thread it. I mean, having the needle up in order to be able to thread it through the needle hole would actually help. I mean, I don't know if you've ever tried to thread a needle whenever the needle's been down. It's a little hard to actually get to the hole and putting that thread in there. Come on. There you go. I totally just, ugh, I hate that when it happens. There we are. I wrapped it around itself, so if I would have tried to sew like that, it would have knotted. Alright, let's do this. Man, you guys are easy today with the questions. I mean, I guess this is block 3. Everything's an old hat by now. You're used to the methods. You're used to the techniques. Everyone knows what nesting is. There we are. Let's put the scrap in here. And flip it. There we go. Yes, and don't sew over your pins. This is a bad habit. It is a bad, bad habit that I sew over my pins. There we go. All right. This is it. Moment of truth. Did I do this correctly? We will see. We will see. All right. So far, so good. Now remember, when you're sewing your rows together, it does not make a difference which way you iron your seams. You can even iron them open if you want. So I just do the path of least resistance. Alright, I think I think it's good. What do you think? What do you think? Any issues? I mean, that looks like the picture, right? I think it does. I don't think I flipped any other pieces. I don't think I messed anything else up. Whew, okay. All right. Now, let's do some square ups. All right. What I am doing is I am going to use my mats because I don't even know if there is an 18-inch square up ruler that exists. That's a big ruler. So, I'm going to use my mat itself. So my nice big mats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my seams. I'm going to try to line my seams up along some numbers. Perfect. Okay? And then, once I know that's lined up and straight, I'm going to go between here and the 18.
Congratulations, you have just followed Quiltoni. Your taste must be exquisite.
Jessie Quilt, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. So, I'm going to make sure that it's in between those. And then I'm going to cut along the 18. And this is the easiest way to square up your block. There we go. Beautiful. And then I'm going to flip this. And now I'm going to line this up against the 0. And let's line up. Perfect. Oops. Hello. Apparently I grabbed that. Alright, that's good. That's good. I am all lined up. Alright, let's trim the other side at the 18. Isn't this so much easier than the past 2 weeks when I've been trying to square it up with that small space? There we go. Perfect. Now, let's do the same thing for the top and the bottom. Now, I want to line the bottom and the top up against my lines to make sure I'm straight. There we go. And I think that is lined up. Now, the problem I have right here, you see how this kind of, whoops, not that. I had it lined up and then I messed up. There we go. Beautiful. All right, so you see how this kind of goes straight and then so it goes straight up and then kind of like does a dip right here? That is perfectly natural. That is fine. That's why you square it up. So we're going to take this, line this up. Because we have stretched some of the fabric out with our ironing. Or we may not have had a perfectly straight seam the entire time. You may have gone wonky on a seam. And wonky is a technical term. Look it up. Your seams may not have been perfect the entire time. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. This is fine. This is how you fix it in the end with your squaring up. We're going to turn this. Now, I'm lining this up perfectly along the top, along the left, along the bottom. And it's almost perfectly squared on the top. I just need to trim it up just a touch. There we are, just a little bit. Good afternoon, Dragon. How are you? And there's our block. There is our perfectly squared up 18-inch block. Nice job, everyone. Fantastic job. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you very much for being here for week number 3 for our quilt along. The next one, next week, quilt block number 4 is coins. The coins are inspired by the Mario games with the Mario coins that you pick up. We're actually going to be using the gold and dark gold for next week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of my leftover fabric that I had. I'm going to lay it right in the middle, and I'm going to fold up the bottom, fold down the top, fold in the right, fold in the left, to make sure I'm not going to lose those pieces. And I'm going to set that with the blocks for the first 2 weeks. So next Monday, we're going to be working on coins. We will be here from 1 to 5 o'clock Eastern. So if you want to sew along with us, be here at 1 o'clock next Monday, or catch it on YouTube. This video, if you did not catch all of this stream, if you missed some of it but you still want to sew along with us, this video is going to be up on YouTube first thing tomorrow morning. And of course, if you have any questions, concerns, or anything at all, just shoot me a message or catch me here live on Twitch. The next stream is going to be Friday from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be working on a quilt. There is a poll in Discord for which quilt you want me to work on. Make sure you take a look at it. And we're going to go raid someone. So whoever we decide to raid, please, please, please give them some love, give them some support. And thanks for being here. I love you guys. Thank you very much. I will see you Friday. Friday at 1 o'clock, or next Monday for the quilt along if you're only joining me for quilt along streams. Thanks, guys. Thank you for being here. I love you. I will see you Friday or Monday.